Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am in my room today to share with you all my room tour. So when you come in my bedroom door, the first thing that you will obviously see is my bed. It is a queen size bed. The bed frame is from Pottery Barn, and all of the pillows that are featured on my bed are from a couple of different places. I wanted to layer both white and some colors that go with the decor of my room. So most of my room has blue and pink tones, but the majority of things in my room are going to be white. The reason for that is because my room doesn't actually get the best natural light. I get very limited windows in the morning where I get beautiful sunlight, but then during the afternoon the sun passes to a different side of my house, and unfortunately I just don't get the best natural lighting in here. So for that reason I decided to paint the walls a very pure white, just so that I would get that perfect bounce of real bright light in my room and it wouldn't put out too many tones of its own. The bedspread that I have is from Macy's. It's from a collection a couple years ago, and I went with this one because it was predominantly white, but I loved that it had these nice blue tones. This is the comforter that I use during the spring and summer, and then during the winter I do switch it over to a heavier one. The throw pillows on my bed are from Home Goods, Target, and IKEA, and then some of the colored ones do come from the bedding set itself. At the end of the bed where I'm sitting right now is actually a end of bed storage bench. This was something that was one of the best additions that I ever made to my room, because not only is it a great place to sit, and sometimes I'll sit down here and watch TV or things like that, but it's also really great storage. You can lift up the seat, and underneath it I can store all of my sweatpants, and then I also store a change of bedding. The bench is in a teal blue color, and I do really like it because I think it complements the photographs on the wall which are next to my bed, and it still is light enough that it doesn't darken up the space too much, and it does complement all the other tones in my room. Next to my bed I have my nightstand, which is again from that same Pottery Barn set that my bed is from, and on top of it I just have typical nightstand things like an alarm clock, my creams, and other things that I reach for before I go to bed, and I have a coaster there of course, and I store my scrunchies, because I'm always wearing a scrunchie when I'm in my room, on this cool little ring holder. Like I said, I have this beautiful wall collage that I do change out the photos from time to time, and the newest additions are these two really large prints that I have on the left and right hand side. One is an overhead shot of the beach, and the other is this kind of vintagey ice cream shop sign. I really love them, and then the photos in the middle are ones that I took myself of different travels that I've had. Next to my nightstand I have this beautiful vintage Victorian style chair, which was actually a piece that my family already had, and I just loved these chairs so much. They didn't have anywhere else that they wanted to use them, so I took them and I've styled them in my room in the corners. I love using these chairs to read, or if one of my friends comes over and they want to sit down somewhere other than on my bed or at my desk, then they can sit down in one of these great chairs, and they're so comfortable. Over in the corner with my nightstand I do have this 9 cube organizer, which I think I picked up at Target or maybe Bed Bath & Beyond way back in the day when everyone was going crazy over cube organizers. And honestly, I ended up repurposing it because I started to run out of space in my closet and in my drawers, and I decided to turn it into a very functional piece where I could use it as clothing storage, and I honestly loved how it came out. So on it I have my jeans, so I have all of my jeans nicely folded, and I've created this like almost shoppable jean wall in my room. And then in the bins that are actually designed for this unit, I do have things like socks and little clutches that I use for nights when I go out, and all of my swimsuits are in one of the bins. And then I have this piggy bank that I was actually gifted from my parents as a child. It's one of the first gifts that I remember really receiving, and it doesn't really go with kind of the vibe that I've created here, but I do need some place to put coins once in a while, and just for sentimental reasons, I don't want to get rid of that, so it does stay in this cube organizer. Up top, I also display things like all of my camera equipment. I keep my Swell water bottles up here so that way they're easy to find when I'm packing a bag in the morning. One of the most important areas of my room is my study space, and that's because for the past 3 years I've been in law school. Right now I'm studying for the bar exam, and honestly, having a productive and well-lit study space is super, super important to me. So when I was redoing this room, I turned what used to be my bed nook into my studying nook, and I honestly love it. If you have a space like this, I definitely recommend turning it into an area that you feel like you need a little more separation from the rest of your bedroom. So especially if you're like in a studio apartment, think about ways that you can separate these spaces, and that's what I've done here. So I've taken this cubby and I've slid this glass desk that I have in there. It was a desk that I got back in high school from Staples. So it has this shelf on top for me to mount my computer on. I personally love a desktop. I love that this is a huge size desktop, and having it elevated just makes it much more comfortable to work out for a long period of time. And because this is a glass desk, one thing that I wanted to do in this area, because it was feeling a little bit dark, is I ordered this faux leather desk pad off of Amazon. It was really inexpensive, and I got it in this light blue tealish toned color, and it's really perfect because it eliminated the need for any kind of mouse pad. Also on my desk are of course pens, highlighters, art tools like paintbrushes and things like that. So I have those all in either upcycled candle containers, and I also have this gray desk set from the Container Store. So I ordered all different pieces just to keep all of my desk supplies neatly organized while they're sitting out on display. The kind of fun thing that I have on top of my desk is this little basket of snacks. So when I'm doing online lectures, or if I'm sitting working at my desk for a long time and I don't want to get up, I do have this little quick access to snacks. Right off of my desk is what I have designated as my media relaxation corner. So I have another one of those beautiful Victorian chairs, and on it I keep my Gryffindor pillow that again doesn't match the aesthetic of my room, but I didn't want to get rid of it. And I have this giant teddy bear that I was given years ago. I also have this poof that I can lounge on when I'm over here reading, and it doesn't really go with the aesthetic of my room, but until I find another place for as its home, I do want to keep it because I need some place to kind of lounge on, and it's just really comfortable. So that's from Anthropology, and that's really my designated reading area. I thought the Gryffindor pillow really added to this as my little reading chair, because what else am I reading but Harry Potter sometimes? So that's that. And then I also have the matching dresser to my bed. It's in that same dark finish, and on top of it I obviously have my TV, which is sitting on a TV stand. I have my Xbox for when I want a little more relaxation, which doubles as a DVD and Blu-ray player. Above my TV I do have another collage wall. This one features prints and also pictures of, again, me and my family. This painting that I have, it's like a watercolor and pen painting I actually got in Rome. And of course I have this other print that was gifted to me from my boyfriend because he said it reminded him a lot of me, because it says first coffee. So now we've covered everything to this side of my bed, and it's time to talk about this side. So let's start again on the back wall with my vanity area. So of course I have a vanity area. This is a beauty and lifestyle channel after all. I've done an in-depth tour of my makeup collection and my vanities, so if you guys want to learn more about those specific things, then you can watch that video, which I'll link down below. But the vanity itself is all pieces from IKEA, and then the pink bench that I have is from Home Goods. My closet is right next to the vanity, which is also why I wanted to put it in that corner of the room, so that way in the mornings when I was getting ready and getting dressed, everything was for the most part in that area aside from my jeans. I'm not going to show you inside the closet because that's not quite organized at the moment, but outside of it I decided to turn this other organizer that I got years ago. I think it's really meant as a shoe organizer, but it wasn't practical for that for me because I have way too many shoes to put them in this unit. So I actually ended up turning it into a display for my gym pants. And on the left-hand side are all of my workout leggings for kind of HIIT and cardio classes that I do. And then on the right-hand side are all of my bar, Pilates, and yoga leggings. So the last area of my room has my bathroom in the corner, and then it has these giant bookcases. So this room that I'm in actually wasn't originally meant to be a bedroom in my house. It was meant to be a study, and these bookcases were part of that. But when I took over the room, we couldn't get the bookcases out because they were so big and heavy and they needed a lot of hands to actually move them. But I've turned them into something really functional. So on this first bookshelf, I keep this one as like my real display bookcase that I don't reach in very often. So it just has some photos and some different little storage boxes that I keep all of my like playbills and tickets and little memorabilia pieces that I have, and I store them in there so that way they're nice and tidy. And then I keep all of my perfume down in this bottom section, and they're on a little mirrored plate so they look really nice and it gets a little more light in there with the mirror. And these other two bookcases that form a much larger piece, I use this again as storage for clothes, but then as a traditional bookshelf. So I was an English major. I am also just like a book nerd, so I have so many books. I've actually even gotten rid of some because I've just run out of room on this bookshelf. So I have my shelves organized from teen novels to the like cult classic Harry Potter, Divergent, Hunger Games, Twilight area, and then I have more of my classics like all of my Shakespeare and Hemingway and Oscar Wilde. They're all on that other shelf. Up front I have the books that I have on my current reading list. On the top shelf you might notice that I actually don't have any books in one of the compartments. I have a bin, and that's where I keep all of my sports bras and bralettes. Those are like the t-shirt bras that I'm going to wear on a daily basis when I'm looking for something a little more comfortable or a layering piece that's not a real bra. So those go up there, and I love that because those are pieces that get really disorganized if you put them in a drawer, but putting them in a bin, they're a little bit easier to sift through, and I just love integrating that into my bookshelf because when you look at it, you don't think anything of it, but to me, it's like a really functional piece. And then down in the bottom section, I turned these last two sections into more storage. So I put in these big bins that I got at Bed Bath & Beyond in a neutral print, and I store t-shirts that I have, comfortable fabric shorts, I have all of my workout tops and bras, and then in this other bin I have all extra towels, muslin cloths, little washcloths, things like that are hanging out there. Overall, this room is not only a place that I spend a lot of time, but it's a place that I really enjoy spending my time because I have all of these different little spaces in them that all serve their purpose and kind of feel like different zones, and that was really important to me. And I think I did a pretty good job for having no interior design experience and for doing it all on my own. That is it for my room tour. I hope that you guys liked seeing this space so that I've kind of molded to my own perfect little oasis. Give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment in the comment section down below. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see what I put out next. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! And if you want to see one of the other videos that I've put out, you can click on those here or click on my floating face to subscribe.